And we are here waiting and watching. Meanwhile, President Trump is taking some heat from his own party. He's right now on an extended working vacation. And you may have heard Colorado Congressman Ken say this week that the Republican Party is dead. In an interview with Denver 7, he wanted to clarify that comment.
I think what I was trying to portray was that the soul of the Republican Party is dead, that there are too many Republicans who are running on less spending, less government, less federal government interference, a lower regulatory burden on business, and then when they get to D.C., they don't follow through on those promises.
Buck, who represents the 4th Congressional District, is up for re-election next year. He says he still plans to run as a Republican. And Blair Miller of the DenverChannel.com is here. I know you did that interview with Congressman Buck. Before we get to your take on that conversation, we want to show our viewers what the congressman said when you asked him the reasoning behind the GOP is dead op-ed piece that he wrote.
I think the American people gave us a great opportunity with Republican control of the House, the Senate, and the Oval Office. And I think we've got to make sure we pass legislation to continue to earn that trust. And we're not doing that.
All right, so Blair is here to talk more about that conversation. Did he blame anyone specifically within the Republican Party?
He focused his efforts on Congress, but there's still kind of a wide net there. He mentioned, House Speaker Paul Ryan, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, saying they needed to set a vision. So unclear if that means he doesn't think they have a vision, but he put everything on Congress mostly for not getting done what, as a conservative, he thinks is not getting done, I guess.
Did he mention anyone specifically that he thought maybe should step up?
No specifics really. And I even asked him about it because I asked him about Trump, I asked him about Paul Ryan, McConnell, and he just really kept it broad with, trying to stay that his conservative message that he and plenty of others have run on over the years is not really getting accomplished in this new presidency.
Did he seem frustrated? I mean, you can talk to anybody, and they're all frustrated about what is happening with healthcare or not happening with healthcare.
Yeah, I think frustration was a big part of it. I mean, you don't write an op-ed saying the GOP is dead if you're not a little bit frustrated. He didn't go into specifics on exactly who he was frustrated with. But I think it's very safe to say that he's frustrated with the fact that they didn't get the repeal done in the Senate and that some of these other things they've run on over the years just seem to have stalled out completely for right now.
I know you cover politics here locally at the national level. Do you think a statement like the GOP is dead will hurt him in any way politically?
I'm not really sure that it will for him because he's run away with both of his last elections. President Trump beat Clinton by 23% in his district last year. So I think if he wants to stay on his conservative message, that's what got him there in the first place. I think obviously some Republicans are a little bit under fire for not putting enough heat on President Trump, I think. But I think for him, he knows what his base is and that he's just holding true to that.
And do you see a division happening within, I guess, within districts, for one, but within the Republican Party specifically?
Yeah, I think there is a divide. And, Ken Buck's part of the House Freedom Caucus, which has gotten a lot more attention lately because they've sort of been some of the deciding factors on some of this stuff in the House. And, there's moderates, there's conservatives, and there's people in the middle. And I think they're all battling right now for that power in the House because, as you've seen, some of these Republican bills are only narrowly getting by. And I think that part of that has to do with, Buck and his Freedom Caucus. And, there's stuff that moderates like Mike Coffman want to take care of, and they have to address different factions of their party than Ken Buck does. And I think that's what Buck was really getting at with this whole message. This
recess is probably good timing for our Congress members right now. I'm sure they're breathing a bit of a sigh of relief for at least the moment.
I think that was what he mostly wanted to talk about, is how happy he was to be back in Colorado. I mean, the very first thing he told me, it was great to be out of the swamp, and then he went on about Rocky Ford melons and sweet corn. I think it's safe to say he's happy to be back.
All the things we love about Colorado. All right, Blair Miller with the DenverChannel.com. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Ann.
You can see Blair's interview with Congressman Buck in its entirety on the DenverChannel.com/PoliticsUnplugged.